Hey, what's up? Welcome to Clues Manifesto. Definitely feel free to follow and leave commentary. So, you know something? I love pages like this. When you ever want to get away from the madness that is normalized, you have to turn towards, stuff that's constructive. Put your mind elsewhere. So, this Twitter page, Adventure Bloom, says roaming the globe in search of nature's hidden gems, capture moments of awe and wonder through my lens. And they show different kinds of fruit. And I've been saving these pictures because I want to actually make this stuff. What's so funny is when you get older, your body doesn't take as many blows as it once did when it comes to recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like when you eat something sweet or salty, trust and believe you feel the effects of that. You feel the effects of it unless you were really taking care of yourself when you were younger. You feel the effects of it, you know? And you start looking for ways to stay healthy because you want to live longer. Ain't that something? Your body begins to slowly break down. All the stuff that you used to do as a kid, it's like you can really no longer do. Like you can't do it at your leisure because it's going to come with a price. And the price is whatever kind of ailments that you get hit with. And don't get caught up in the whole medical avenue. Oh no, let me tell you something, man. You want to talk about a path to bankruptcy? Oh yeah, that is most certainly a miserable road to walk. I mean, the healthcare system in this country, I can't say it's broken. It's working the way it was designed to. It's absolutely pathetic because it doesn't have to be that way. But, stepping around that, you know, you start looking for ways to eat healthy. And fruit begins to look like candy because it's only a benefit to eat this stuff. It's only a benefit. Like vegetables start to look like food and fruit starts to look like candy. I'm separating the two, but I'm saying you start thinking at the level of an herbivore. Like you begin to see why they eat the way that they do. I'm not talking about those who chew on grass. I'm talking about when you can look at fruits and vegetables and you say, look at this. I can make this into a plate. And you can live off the stuff, not making a pie out of the fruit, but something like this, a glass of chopped fruit. You know, my thing is when it comes to me, I have to pick out all the soft and messed up parts of the fruit and then put it to a glass to eat that. I can't just buy some fruit from the store, wash it off, and eat it because I don't like eating fruit and keep coming across spoiled parts of the fruit. Not spoiled, but basically soft parts of the fruit. So I pluck those things out from the very beginning so that it's a safe road to eat everything that is put before me. Like something like this, chopped up fruit. And you can also throw this stuff in the freezer, which makes it even better. Makes it even better. Coconut, I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know. I mean, you can add that as an ingredient, but as far as just, chewing this stuff like apple slices, nah. I think it's way too tough, way too fibrous, I guess. Stuff like this, I guess you can, but yeah. And this is not something that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about apple turnovers or whatever the heck this is. Because, you begin to steer away from fried food. I'm talking about, eating to live, not living to eat. You know? I never cared for watermelon. I never cared for watermelon. I do like watermelon candy, but I've never actually cared for the fruit itself. Maybe because, the fruit that I grabbed as far as watermelon was just too watery for me. And that just left a lasting impression that okay, this is what this fruit tastes like. When really that's not the case, but still, it's like, hey, man, this is like chewing into some water. You know, like that's what threw me off about it. I mean, I might drink it as juice, juiced up, but as far as a raw fruit, nah, I'm kind of past that whole stuff. Peaches are definitely decent. They're the go-to, I would say. Mangoes definitely decent. This is some kind of. It looks like some kind of purple tangerine. I've yet to try something like this. Like you would see something like this in a small health food store. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a small health food store near me. I was trying to find purple potatoes, which are basically sweet potatoes. I did not realize that. Man, let me tell you something. You can make that stuff into a sweet potato pie, and it has a lot of benefits to it. You know, I did not realize that. I thought it was going to taste like regular potatoes. But no, it does not taste like yellow potatoes or red potatoes. No, no, no. This thing tastes like sweet potatoes. You can make that into a pie. You don't have to add any sugar. This thing is literally, it's very sweet, enough to give you a cavity. I think so. But yeah, you know. But, you know, like as you get older, you start thinking like this, man. You want to live. You want to live longer. Because one thing I don't like, and you know, this just comes with aging, it makes you really begin to understand the story of Peter Pan not wanting to grow up, not wanting to get old, because when you get old, you die. I mean, let's just be real. You see people around you passing away. It's a very uncomfortable feeling to grow older, you know, beside other people, you know what I'm saying? They grow old, same as you, and they just start passing away. Like, that is, it can be somewhat traumatizing if you don't really wrap your mind around, hey man, this is everybody's walk. But you know, as you get older, you be thinking like you think in ways of trying to live longer, you know? And many ailments can be reversed or you know, they can be hindered from afflicting you. I'm trying to get my family on this kick now. You know, I mean, if I wish I would have started early. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have moved differently from the beginning. I mean, my tooth is not even my tooth is hurt. My tooth is gone, a wisdom tooth. You know, I did a video about that saying, hey man, make it a point to tell your dentist to check your wisdom teeth because they can skip past these parts. It's very important. The cavity begins to go too deep, it hits the entire tooth. The next thing you know, you gotta get it extracted. And that is a road to walk when it comes to healing. I gotta pop me some Excedrin, truth be told, like now. But yeah, you know, you start thinking in these terms, man, of trying to stay and remain healthy. And you know what? Even though I could eat ice cream and mix stuff up, ew, raisins, what the hell? No, I thought that was like almonds or something. Yeah, that's person. Yeah, you different than me, man. But yeah, definitely. I like just straight fruit or stuff like this. Fruit that's mixed with, you know, possibly some yogurt. Yeah. But more towards the raw side, I could go for some protein. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not fruit, but you know what I'm saying? It's good enough. This is pretty good. Dried whatever it was. Dried white grapes, I guess it's called. But yeah, you just start feeling like this. Who else feels like this? I know I'm not by myself. You know, you ever get older and you want to get healthy and you just start looking at fruit like candy? It feels weird when you first begin to feel that kind of way. You're like, wait a second, man. I used to duck and dodge this kind of stuff as a kid. Now that I'm older and want to live longer, I'm looking at this stuff as a viable option. You know, rather than grab a bag of candy, come back with a bag of fruit. But the question then becomes, okay, which fruit? You know, you can't just grab anything and everything off the shelf. You gotta find out which one is your favorite. You know, what's your go-to? But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say when it comes to this.